Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the JUTC. We're going to give you an update on the 50 new buses that recently arrived into the island and the upgrade of some of the other buses. So Jamaica needs about 400 buses to roll out a day to have a proper transport system for the Kingston metropolitan region, which is Kingston, Spanish Town, Portmore. Those are the JUTC is a government operation basically. So those big yellow buses that you see, those are the JUTC buses. Now, for some reason, remember the JUTC needs 400 a day. For some reason, the bus fleet went down to 160. So the government ordered some new buses, 50 new buses, and then parts to fix up some of the other buses. So you had incidents where you had to wait over an hour to get a bus because they only had 160 buses on the road and they needed 400. Now, as to how things got so bad, that is to be looked into to make sure it doesn't happen again. But with the school year starting at the beginning of September, a lot of pressure was on the government to get these 50 new buses, because when you have schools open, a lot more people are the children need to get to school basically, and Jamaica has the main way to get around in Jamaica for public transport is the bus. So it was crucial to get these buses here in Jamaica and on the roads before the first week of September when the schools reopened. So we're going to give you an update. The buses have arrived and we're just going to give you the latest on what's going on to get the 400 buses out. The 50 new buses which arrived in the island on Wednesday, August 23rd will boost the Jamaica Urban Transit Company's daily runout capacity to 315 ahead of the start of the 2023-24 academic year in September. This according to Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Honorable Darrell Vaz. He pointed out that this represents an increase of 175 units or 125% over the number that the JUTC was running out daily when he became Transport Minister in May 2023. We are coming from a rollout of about 140 buses when I took the transport portfolio, Minister Vaz said. He explained that since then, the JUTC has utilized a process of emergency procurement of spare parts to have an additional 125 units ready for rollout in September when the 2023-24 academic year begins, bringing the total to 265. We are now looking to roll out about 315 buses for back to school in September, which includes these 50 buses, Minister Vaz added. He was speaking at Kingston Wharves where the buses were being offloaded from a vessel that docked at the port. Mr. Vaz pointed out that there were some delays in getting the buses into the island based on the type of vessel that was used to ship them. Finally, the buses are here after an approximate 2-month delay from the original estimated time of arrival due to the way in which the buses were shipped, the Transport Minister said. He further explained that the vessel was not a traditional roll-on, roll-off ship where the buses could be driven on and off, but rather a lift-on, lift-off that involves the use of cranes to load and offload the units. The shipment includes 5 45-seater electric buses, 40 45-seater compressed natural gas CNG buses, and 5 CNG buses with a capacity of 34, which will facilitate disabled passengers. Mr. Vaz stated that the process to acquire the buses transcended 3 transport ministries and acknowledged his predecessors, former ministers Robert Montague and Audley Shaw, for their role in the undertaking. Mr. Vaz pointed out that he was on the receiving end of declared that his predecessors were the ones who put in the work. He thanked Kingston Wharves Limited and the Jamaica Customs Agency for their urgency in facilitating the offloading and ensuring the clearance of the buses respectively to get them off to the depot immediately to start the pre-service to get them out on the road within the next week. Alright, so that is the latest update on the buses. So they should have 315 buses on the road, or basically rolling out every morning for September, which is far better than the 140 they had. Alright guys, so we'll keep you updated on these buses, but there should not be any more delays in getting them into service. Alright guys, thanks for taking a tour with us today. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.